I'm interviewing Bishop John Yanta, and I'll let him identify himself better and tell you his story about Jack DeVault, his relationship with him.
Thank you very much. I would like to begin by saying that I am now a retired bishop of Amarillo, and I am living here in San Antonio. I have beautiful recollections of Jack DeVault, how he affected me. I was a pastor in those days. First of all, I'd like to express my sympathy to Bonnie and the family. A great man, Jack DeVault, and did a lot to build the kingdom here in San Antonio and the area here around San Antonio. I was a pastor of St. James Catholic Church in San Antonio, and I kept getting these invitations to join these Saturday marches around the medical center that were doing abortions or promoting them anyway. And they were called the Jericho marches. And I kept getting these letters in the mail. And finally I decided, well, it's time for me to cooperate with this group. This is a good ecumenical affair that we Catholics and other Christians can come together and express our faith, be witnesses to the faith that we have been given. And so I started with my first one, and what happened was these Jericho marches, we'd go in to the place that was promoting abortion and let them know that we are witnessing the opposite. And then Operation Rescue was around, and I remember going to one of the promotions in which they said, well, you can do three things there. You can come and pray. You can help with the rescue talks to the mothers that are coming in, knowing that their baby is about to be killed in the interest of her freedom, and her husband probably, or boyfriend. And so I witnessed this twice as we blocked the doors of the new women's clinic down on San Pedro, close to the metropolitan, the business area of San Antonio. And I saw this twice, and the next one coming up would be at the same time of the anniversary, if you want to call it that, observance of Roe versus Wade. So this is 1973, and add 20, it brings you up to 1,093, so 1993. And so I told my parishioners that I'm going to go to jail. That shocked them. And so I did. And I admired the audacity, the boldness the, the desire to go to jail as a teaching witness of their faith. And so there was 25 of us, I think, that blocked the doors on that day of the New Women's there on San Pedro. And it was kind of cold that morning. And I was dressed just like this, except I didn't have my yellow socks on, but black. And it was a couple of teenagers from the influence of the priest from El Paso. And then there was about 10 of us men and 13 women. And so I blocked one of the main entrances to New Women's Clinic, and I went through the whole thing. I admired Jack because he was the one that got us together and made me, as it were, stop being a spectator and to jump in the swimming pool of pro-life, and I did. And then you never know how far the influence goes. I was, in 1997, I was made a bishop in 94, and in 97 I was sent to Amarillo, which had 19 Planned Parenthood centers. They didn't do the abortions right there, but they sure had a lot of influence to go ahead and go to either Dallas or Denver, and that's what they did. And so my people, my Catholic people there in Amarillo, were just anxious to get pro-life started, and we did. And in fact, when I left 8 years later, or 11 years later, it turned out that just about all of the Planned Parenthood centers had closed, except one in Amarillo and a part-time one also in Amarillo. And so you never know what kind of extension your good example will give. And Jack DeVault was the one that got me off of being a spectator and one who was, I think, God gave the grace to a lot of people in San Antonio to do what this priest, John Yanta, and then this bishop, what he witnessed. So Jack was my mentor, and I thank God, thank Bonnie for Jack to get me active. I was always pro-life, but I did not demonstrate it like he did. And so I want to thank the members of this church too that were so active, that gave me a lot of encouragement to be active in pro-life. And then when I went to Amarillo, it was so easy over there. Easy, you know. The people were just waiting for pro-life leadership. And Jack was the one that got me maybe I was going 5 miles an hour, and he got me up to speed, 60, 70 miles an hour. And I'm just making that as a way of complimenting Jack for what he did. He did a lot for me and a lot for the people of Amarillo. So, eternal rest give unto him, O Lord, and let the perpetual light shine upon him. May Jack DeVault rest in peace, my friend, my mentor, a person that I admired very much.
Thank you, Bishop Yanta, for sharing your story and how you became involved and your association with Jack DeVault. Thank you.